Welcome to Carol and Gary's See America Tour. Hello again, everyone. This week, Carol and I decided to get up early one morning and drive 2.5 hours west of Apache Junction on Interstate 10 to a place called Quartzsite, Arizona. Quartzsite is a small town approximately 20 miles east of the California border. The average high temperature in Quartzsite in July is 108 degrees, but in January the average high temperature is a comfortable 66 degrees, making it a favorite destination of snowbirders. On most days when the snowbirders are not in town, Quartzsite is a sleepy little desert town along the interstate with an abundance of BLM land. BLM stands for Bureau of Land Management and is a government agency that oversees public land. The Arizona BLM office in Phoenix manages 12.2 million acres of public land. Dispersed camping is allowed on most BLM land for up to 14 days. Dispersed camping is also known as dry camping or boondocking. To disperse camp on BLM land, you can register online, print a permit, and then drive to the camping area. The permit to camp for up to 14 days on BLM land is $40. A permit to camp for up to 7 months on BLM land between September 15th and April 15th is $180. In case you have never heard the terms dispersed camping, dry camping, or boondocking, it means that you go out into an area where there are no bathrooms, no running water, no electricity, and no heat available. The only way you have these items is to take them with you in a van, truck, or camper. Perhaps for financial reasons or wanting to escape cold temperatures in the north, or a combination of both, thousands of people migrate to BLM land every winter, and the numbers are growing. Then in 2009, a van dweller named Bob Wells came up with the idea of bringing like-minded individuals together in the desert to share their stories with others. Bob called this first gathering, which was held in January of 2010, the Rubber Tire Rendezvous, or RTR for short. 45 people attended this first rendezvous. As word got out, the attendance grew. Bob runs a YouTube channel called Cheap RV Living, so getting the word out was easy. Seminars were held several times per day. Subjects such as safety, mail services, and work camping are discussed. Work camping is where you perform work in return for a free campsite, normally with electricity and water provided. Carol and I took a drive through some BLM land to let you see what BLM land was like. It wasn't as crowded as that picture I just posted, so enjoy the view while we drive around. Notice the mountains in the distance. How would you like to wake up to this view every morning? I could see doing this for a weekend, but not long term. Although not tied to the RTR, With so many RVers gathering at Quartzsite during the winter, vendors saw an opportunity and began coming to Quartzsite to sell their wares out of tents. Carol and I made the trek to Quartzsite to see what the RTR was about, but also to see what the vendors had to offer. We didn't find anything dealing with the RTR, but did find vendors set up on the outskirts of Quartzsite. Parking for this event was scarce, obviously because of hundreds if not thousands of people who had turned out for the event. Parking was free, but it was up to the driver to find a place to park, and some people were pretty creative about it. One very large tent, known as the Big Tent, held 280 display booths. Near the Big Tent and across the road, several hundred additional vendors were set up in smaller tents to sell their wares. This created a carnival atmosphere for the thousands of people in attendance. Everything needed for RVing for any size or type of camper was being sold. This included tools, solar panels, inverters, and generators. A representative from the Yuma, Arizona-based company that makes the tire pressure monitoring system that I have on my motorhome tires said that he was the tech support guy for the company. I told him that I had just called their tech support late last Thursday because all of my pressure sensors had stopped working while driving to Arizona last fall. He said that he remembered talking to me and asked me to check the voltage on each battery, and if the voltage was below 2.8 volts, that the battery needed to be replaced. Carol and I also talked to a sales rep from the Michelin Tire Company, who had a wide tire on display. This is my current back tire configuration on top of this picture with 4 wheels on each axle. The Michelin salesman said that the cost of their wide tire would be less than 2 of our current tires. Initially, I would also have to buy 2 double-wide aluminum rims, but the lower cost of a dual-wide tire compared to replacing both narrow tires again would be offset the next time that I replaced the wider tires. I told Carol that because we don't put many miles on our motorhome, we wouldn't be wearing out many sets of tires. This might be financially beneficial to someone like a semi-driver who drives millions of miles, but we might never need a second set of tires on these wide rims. Then on the way back to Apache Junction that afternoon, we saw a truck driver shred one of his back tires while driving. In this case, it would have been less expensive for him to replace one narrow tire than having to replace one of the wide tires. Carol and I bought an aluminum 28-inch wide by 43-inch long table for cooking outside. It is called a roll-top table, which became apparent when taking it out of the bag. By 3 that afternoon, Carol and I had both seen pretty much everything there was to see, so we headed back toward Apache Junction. Jasper had pooped out much earlier and would lay down and refuse to move. All we could do to get him going again was pick him up and carry him until he tired of being carried. Then he would walk again for a few more minutes. If you like this video but have not yet subscribed, please do so to be notified of future videos, and feel free to share with your friends. Thanks for watching.